Howdy, guys. Just now I was starting to have a thought, and it slowly brewed to the surface. And the phrase that was in my head is inability to bear witness. And it's not just bear witness in any sense, but it's bear witness to someone hurting themselves in a very broad sense. Obviously, I don't want to bear witness to someone literally hurting themselves. But, somebody engaging in addiction or something. And I had this thought because I'm doing this workout thing with some friends, which they don't work out much. And this thing we're doing will take out like a minute or two out of their day. And one of them has been slacking, putting it off, whatnot. And in my head, I was like, I'm not going to be his keeper. I'm not going to put a gun up to him and say, fucking work out. But I also don't even want to be in the room in the sense to see him choose not to work out. I was originally just doing it with one friend and then we added another. And I'm like, I'm about to just send my shit back just to the one friend instead of to both. Because I don't even want to like look at this group chat. We would just do like 10 push-ups and 10 jumping jacks, just some light shit. And we Snapchat it to each other. And the phrase that felt descriptive of, I don't know, whatever's going on in my mind about this was like inability to bear witness. It's not inability, but it's like, what's the word? I feel like it starts with a D. Denial? Denial to bear witness? I'm denying it. I'm saying I don't want it in some sense. And I was thinking about it, and it's been a trait of mine for a long time, because a recent video I made on about a Minecraft server, I guess is technically the same thing. It's like we've got a good thing going on this Minecraft server, and then like a bunch of shit happens, and I don't even want to like be in the room it's happening in, aka the Minecraft server. And that is like the same thing. And a long time ago, I had some friends that I played Fortnite with, and how do I say this and not make it sound odd? They were like engaging in some unhealthy drug habits and like interpersonal relationships, and I was like, oh, guys, I think I gotta dip. Because I didn't want to be in the room. And the thing that I thought about most recently, which was like, I'll go talk to camera and talk it through there and see if we can find something out about ourselves in an interesting way, is I thought of an example of me not wanting to bear witness all the way back in middle school. I think like second year of middle school. I had a friend, and I don't think I ever would have thought to put it into the words I'm about to use, which are apt, but he didn't cuss. And then one day he came to school and he was like, I'm a cusser now. I cuss. And the problem was just all of his uses of cusses were like just bad mental. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to hang out with you if you cuss. Because I'm like, you're doing it wrong. And he said, okay. And then he didn't cuss. And like 2 days later, he started cussing again. I was like, see ya. And it was like, it is, let's make a denial to bear witness. Yeah, let's change it to denial to bear witness. Just, it's a denial to bear witness to self-harm in many extremities, not extremity, what's the word? Magnitudes? It's almost there. Look up magnitude synonym and pray. Degree. In many degrees. There we go. We found it. And when I thought about that middle school example, I was like, this has been a part of my personality for some time, which is interesting in itself. I get the thought I'm having is like, is it an unhealthy thought? I don't think so. Only because it's like, it's for things that I can't help. It's like if somebody chooses to hurt themselves, like I can't stop them. I'm not gonna force them. They have free will. They can run their own bits. They do not have to bring me down with them in terms of bring down my mental with whatever self-destructive acts they're doing. Denial to bear witness to self-destructive behavior. What did I... Apparently I spelled like a British person. If I had to guess, I think like I wouldn't have a direct example of my first experience with this, but I would guess it would be with my older sister. She's got many unhealthy mental tendencies. You know, just like when somebody isn't doing themselves any favors in one way or another. I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like it makes sense for this to be like a very normal human emotion that I'm feeling. this feeling of denial of not wanting to be there. But I think I exhibit it to a much larger degree than more than even the average person. I gotta be like high percentiles. And I don't know if it's like just a capacity to deal with shit, if it's like some empathy thing. I mean, because that's what it is when it comes down to it. It's like I'm empathizing with them too much, and so the bad thing they're doing to themselves is now a bad thing happening to me. I mean, I think I just wanted to put it in words and find those words here in this format because I think it's interesting. But I am wondering if there's anything else I can do with this thought, this feeling, because it feels very much so like there's nowhere to go with it. As I said earlier, I'm not going to force somebody to do something in any facet. It's interesting because I think people could call it like an ultimatum type action. Because like in all literal senses it is, of like the actions that are happening. It's like somebody's doing something. I will no longer be here if that thing is happening. And I guess I don't feel guilty about it because it's like whatever they're doing is bad for them. But it's like I don't feel literally guilty about it, but I do feel bad. And I think that's not from any self-judgment point of view. It's like I feel bad, like in the sense that the reality I'm living in is slightly unfortunate about this thing, about whatever self-destructive behavior I'm witnessing that I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I think an interesting thing about it is it's telling of the level of, I don't know, it's not like trust or commitment. There we go. I like that. Just the level of willingness. I was going to say, like the thought process I was going through is, why do I not intervene? Because I don't even bring it up quite often. There are edge cases where I'm like, this feels quite important. I'd like to not dip right now. Can we talk this out here to see if we can find a middle ground? Because when I'm imagining the situation, like bringing it up to someone, I usually don't because I'm like, they won't change. And not just like an inability to change. It is an unwillingness to change, you know, to do a hard thing. An interesting thing about this little self-discussion, which I think I must have had some inkling towards a deep thing to find out about myself, which is why I'm recording this, is I think it is my biggest point of static with everyone. Because when I think about like any like problem I have with people or what they do, it's like somebody never wanting to try Thai food. And I'm like, bro, just open your heart for a second. You're being closed-minded in a way that, I don't know, just like limits your experience of life. And, you know, that's obviously not a self-destructive behavior. It's just a self-inhibiting behavior. But it is within this same realm of like, I still don't want to sit here and watch you be lame about X, Y, or Z. Be it like not wanting to like eat bananas or something. You know, just silly stuff like that. But it's like, I do think my sisters, the traits they dislike about me are like my manifestations of this feeling. Because I think it kind of comes off in like a pull yourself up by your bootstraps adjacent thing, and then like they don't think much farther than that. I say they, just referencing my sisters in this instance because we've talked about it a little bit, but that seems to be the vibe they're getting from when I'm like, why don't you try X, Y, or Z? They don't have as much of these tendencies, but when I talk about these things with them in other senses, or sometimes when it comes up with them, they're like, you shouldn't be judging or telling people what to do. And I'm like, people are closing themselves off, and I think that's bad, and I don't think it's bad to think that. and to want better for people. That's why I don't bring it up with people. I just had a thought though, because a different thing that I was thinking, just walking around my kitchen, it's such an interesting little web I'm weaving for myself. I have a few pictures of my family in my house, and there's a picture of my youngest sister, Megan, when she's quite little. I think right now she's like highest on the list of like, I'm not like rating my sisters, but like I have this thing I do where I say I rate someone, where it's just like I find their actions like more valid or something. But people can have bad opinions of the word rate, so I need to find like a different way to describe it. But for now, we'll just use that dirty word, and maybe I'll find a better one some other time. But the thing I was thinking about in the kitchen earlier is I think I only rate her in that sense higher than my other sisters because she's young, in the sense that there's more capacity for change still, more willingness, more elasticity in mental and personality and whatnot. You know, she's got things she gets stuck on, but more often than not, I see her trying new things. I'm like, that's dope. But it's like my other sisters, the older ones who are like adults, I probably didn't judge or think about their actions much when they were younger, because I'm like, they can still see the world and, I don't know, find a route to, oh, maybe X is bad or Y is bad or whatever. But then they get locked in to behaviors, and it's rough. It's rough to witness in some sense. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying anybody I'm talking about has any like really bad flaws or anything, but it's just like, not only is it a bunch of little things, but it feels almost more stupid when it's a little thing. It's like, oh, we can't get over that. Yeah, so I wanted to bring up that, I don't know, I judge younger people less. Maybe it's not even that they are more elastic as a younger person. I think a better, but also stupid way to phrase it is they're less committed to their bit. I use the phrase committed to the bit about just general personality traits quite often. And I guess it's because like any personality trait is in some sense like just a decision to behave in a certain way, which is a bit in a sense. But it's like, if you're talking to a crotchety old 60-year-old, they are so committed to their bit. And if you talk to a 40-year-old, they're a little less committed to their bit, but they're still stuck in their bit. And it just goes down the commitment to whatever they've chosen for themselves. And there's a certain like, I don't even know if it's an age bracket, because it's not like literal age. It's like, yeah, I feel like putting it on age is not disingenuous, but like not accurate enough of a descriptor. Commitment to the bit feels better, feels more accurate. We're just going to ramble now. Another thing that this made me think about is I'm a very fun-loving guy. I goof and I gaff and all that good stuff. And anybody who's close to me knows that, but like, I'm not being a menace out in the streets goofing around all the time. And people who aren't that close to me may not realize that much, or may be in denial of that in some sense. I'm thinking of a very specific situation where somebody was like, yeah, I like you better now given your... Seems this wasn't the exact words they used, but this was the exact sentiment. It's like, seems like the world has finally beat you down. And that wasn't the exact words they used, but that was the exact sentiment. And in my head, I was like, that was the most atrocious thing you could say. And not even just in a general sense of like, yippee, he's been battered and bruised. But it's like the actual context for how I've been battered and bruised is like me no longer wanting to try to change people. I think as a younger person, I was okay goofing and gaffing, you know, in not too familiar social settings, like in school or something. And then I just got judged too many times and saw too many people's closed ass hearts. And I was like, I give up. You guys can run your bits, and I guess I'll just sit around. Since apparently running my fun bits hurt you too much. Hurt you too much, not right word. It's like ignited some awareness of their own, not openness to themselves. That I was not worded well, but it describes it well. And it's so interesting too, just in daily life, like even though I'm not goofing when working, there are people who I see during work and they can see that I'm a fun, lighthearted guy. And they're like, oh, he's chill. And then there's other people and they're committed to their bit of thinking the world's a fucked ass place and everything sucks. And it is a little fucked, but it's also like a lot of their own mental. And those people look at me and be like, how do I even word it? It's not judgment. It's like, it is a judgment, but it's It's their own denial. I'm talking about my denial to bear witness to self-destruction. Many people are in denial to bear witness to my fucking fun vibes. Which sounds so stupid, but I've just seen it time and again. And it's what's beating me down and whatnot. Either way, I do think we've branched into a lot of things that were simmering in my mind. Is there anything I can say at the end of this? I think all I'll say is that, like, the thing I want for everyone is more willingness to do things for yourself and others. Because, like, some light self-destructive behavior, I don't think makeup looks good, like, often in general, because not only do I appreciate seeing someone's, like, face naturally, I have, like, legitimately heard women say they, like, think they're ugly in general and that they look better with makeup. And I'm like, one, you look worse with makeup to me. And two, they're attractive people. If you think you're ugly and that makeup is what's going to fix this, you've created a problem for yourself. And I don't think it's a far stretch to figure out what the problem is. And you're just like, nope, I'll just keep wearing makeup. Like, and that's where it's like, it's not just, oh, make my life easier so I don't have to deny to bear witness to some self-destructive behavior, whatever the degree it is. It's like, do something for yourself, and then for the people around you, and then for fucking society at large. It would put the world in such a nice place, wouldn't it? And that's what I'll leave it with, because I think that is my biggest gripe with humanity. I do think that I can write that down in words, that it is my biggest gripe, because a lot of my problems just in general interactions just boil down to something like that. It's like somebody has a horrible attitude because they, like, stress themselves out in some sense or keep themselves in a bad mental space in one way or another. I guess chuck some comments in the comments of your reactions to this, and I don't know, maybe somebody should burn me at the stake or something for having such wild takes. I don't know. We'll add one little thing. It is also so silly every time, like, I bring this up in some little sense. Not only, like, the lack of understanding of what I'm saying, but, like, the denial that it could be true. That's what it is. Their denial that what I'm saying could be true is always what baffles me. Oh, a good example. Oh, maybe that game you're playing that you just yell at consistently and get angry, maybe you should stop playing that game. And they're like, the fuck would you say that to me? I don't know. I'll leave you guys. I'll see you guys later.